The indictment was released yesterday against President Trump.
You have an indictment that comes down against the former president of the United States, which criminalizes free speech.
There's no such thing under the First Amendment as a false opinion.
The most jarring thing about this indictment is that it basically just accuses him of disinformation. This is a disinformation indictment. It says that you were spreading falsehoods, that you were undermining the integrity of the election. That's all part of the First Amendment.
A former president criminally charged for believing that an election was taken away from him? Like Jordan said, right or wrong, you're allowed to believe it. It's a First Amendment free speech.
We filed legal challenges in Pennsylvania. The Supreme Court agreed with us and set votes aside. Was that criminal for us to file that case?
Of course not. And Justice Alito granted our stay in that
and if
case.
we had lost, would it have been criminal to file that
No,
case?
it's not a question of whether you think it was stolen or not think it was stolen. He's now been accused, Alan, criminally of violating the laws based on his thoughts and beliefs. To me, this is the most serious challenge to political speech I have seen, certainly in our lifetime.
You're absolutely right. We're getting into the realm of psychoanalysis, not the realm of law, and certainly not the realm of the First Amendment. So this is a dangerous, dangerous case.
This criminalization of the practice of law because you have an aggressive theory or a novel theory, I mean, that should send chills but for the entire defense bar throughout the United States.
We're seeing not only the First Amendment endangered, we're seeing the Sixth Amendment endangered. And if you want to talk about the route to tyranny, the two things that tyrants do is first they abolish freedom of speech, and then they abolish freedom of lawyers to represent their clients zealously opposed to government positions.
I'm telling you something. The First Amendment issues on this one against Trump are unreal. I don't care if you like President Trump, you don't like President Trump. Criminalizing the speech and then criminalizing the legal work, it's exactly what Alan said. The tyranny of that is silence the lawyers, silence the speakers. And that's what they've done.
The American people should be the judges of speech.
100%.
Not the Department of Justice, not courts. We, the people, should decide if we think the speaker's right and if we believe in what the speaker's saying. That's why we have elections. Do you believe that person's going to do better? So, I mean, that to me is the real fundamental problem. You could talk about all the other cases and the other issues President Trump is facing. With this challenge, it's purely about we don't like the speech you had, and we think you knew it was wrong. You couldn't have actually believed this.
Sets such a dangerous precedent for what happens when, the winds of power shift to the other party. The Democrats who are silent today may be happy or pleased with what's going on. Well, what happens when the tables are turned and now there's a new norm that's in place where in the United States of America, the Department of Justice is now used to go after political opponents. If a party that they are not happy with is in power, they should be very concerned about that eventuality right now, because the tables could turn very quickly and they could see their speech that they approve of or the politicians that they like being prosecuted in much the same way.
They have criminalized free speech, and then they want to criminalize the lawyers defending the free speech, even if it's speech you disagree with. And I just find this indictment to be striking at the heart of a constitutional republic, and that is free discourse. And I know in your military career, you spent your life defending our freedoms. But in your political career, this is dangerous for politicians.
If that's their accusation, does this mean they're now going to go and try to criminally prosecute every single person who runs for office who knowingly doesn't tell the truth? It goes directly to what you talked about is free speech, this open marketplace of ideas, and has an incredibly powerful chilling effect on that public discourse and making it so that people are thinking twice before they express their views or their opinions, and putting us in a position where we have the nanny state, big government, big brother policing that very free speech that our Constitution protects.
It's going to be a tough battle at the district court because of just the location alone. 93% of the residents of the District of Columbia are registered Democrats. So just a jury pool there is going to be tough. The judge is going to be tough. It's an Obama appointee. Now, in this case, though, this one is not going to end, no way, at the district court. Prosecutions of a president, this is new ground here. So it's not going to end with whatever happens at a district court. It's going to be appealed, and some of these, I think, will make it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
They're trying to silence the First Amendment and shut up the lawyers. Remove the lawyers, silence the First Amendment. That is a direct attack on life and liberty.